And we're back with another episode. Holy crap, that was loud. Whatever feedback that came from.
It always happens in the beginning. I don't know why.
What it is, it's StreamYard does the whole mute.
Echo cancellation. It doesn't kick in for a few seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's always like, and we're back. I should start softer, you know.
Start as ASMR. And we're back to another episode of Anonymous Dreams.
So hope you guys are doing good. This summer is crazy. We had an earthquake a couple days ago here in California, IA. Wasn't a bad one, but you know, everybody, as soon as it starts shaking, everyone's all like, Jesus, where are you? It's like, dude, it's not that bad. Relax. So we are, and I tell this to Next Level, every time we hit 110 degrees, you feel every single degree after that.
Yeah.
If it's 111, you feel the difference. If it's 112, you feel the difference. So today in the beautiful Southern California, where it averages about 78 degrees year round, we are facing 111 today, 113 tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. And what the craziest part is, it's gonna be like this until Saturday. Saturday it drops to 95 degrees and chance of rain.
We're getting some rain now. Here.
We need maybe that's the forecast that's coming this way.
Yeah, because you guys always want to blame Canada. I know.
It is your fault, man. The 54th state of America. So always appreciate you guys coming. Make sure you guys do check the description below. We have a VPN service down there. We always say protect yourself before you wreck yourself. Cybersecurity is a big thing, and nowadays, and it's not even nowadays, but it's been here for a while, you should have a VPN if you don't have one already. Most of our cell phones have some kind of safeguard. I know Android has like a safeguard, iPhone has whatever the hell the iPhone wants to have. But everybody is incorporating some kind of cybersecurity, which we will be doing another episode just specifically on cybersecurity, how to protect your home, cybersecurity attackers, all that crap. In the meantime, if you are streaming, if you are a streamer, having a VPN is very important to have. If you are going to Starbucks and you're jumping on their internet, having a VPN is very, very important, especially if you're in Starbucks. And there's a lot of you guys that go to Starbucks. So yeah, that was my lengthy get yourself a VPN explosions.
I don't even have my hat on.
I'll get Buzz. Oh, I know. I got something for you. Something I know you'll like.
That's buzz. That's not buzz. Oh my God. You want to make sure that you're checking out BuzzTVGlobal.com. Buzz TV has always got some great deals, some great exclusive products, some great customer experience, and some great accessories. They have all different kinds of accessories from, small remotes, big remotes, keyboard remotes, all different kinds of stuff to suit all of your needs. And I think their back to school sale is just finishing up, so you may be able to catch it if you check out BuzzTVGlobal.com.
Now, today's episode is a full breakdown. How to cut the cable, easy method, because there's a lot of, there's a lot of videos out there that claim all kinds of, this is the best way, the best build, the best add-on, the best APK, the best everything. And yeah, I know when it comes to that, people really don't know how to start. So this episode is going to be for you guys. A lot of us that do follow us on the daily and have been with us for several years now know a lot of this information already, but it's always good to have a refresher as you're building your repertoire, because devices change, apps change, security, Wi-Fi's change. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's constantly changing, and every time you think you know just about everything, there's something that changes, and then you're just like, what the hell? Now you're searching for stuff. The biggest thing that people are talking about this year, and I am getting a flux of freaking emails, and I'm just like, Who the hell told you to buy that crap? That guy right there.
I don't have one. I haven't tried one, so I can't talk about it.
Talk about it, be about it. So this has to be the heaviest piece of brick I've picked up. This is Apple TV. For you guys who are listening, I just lifted up a Apple TV 4K. This is the 64 gig 4K HDR. It's heavy, bro. This thing is freaking heavy. You can knock somebody out with this thing if you chuck it at their head. And just so you guys could see it, I still have. Let me see if I could. I can't even open this damn thing. Where the hell is the crease to open it? The plastic's still on it. Ooh, here we go. I think I got it. Now we're not reviewing this Apple thing here live on the podcast. So just calm down. I know everyone's gonna be like, wait, you're gonna do it now? No, I'm just showing you guys like it. This is brand spanking new. There it is. I got it. There it is. Yeah. What is the ASMR you're saying that? Brand new Apple TV. Just got it. I've been getting a lot of people saying like, how the hell do you add this app to this thing? How do you do this thing with that thing? And how do you, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, hold on a second. Whoever's telling you guys, didn't they do a 5-minute video or a 4-minute video? No, it wasn't that. It was no. I was like, oh, great. Okay. I'll figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, I can't ask Next Level because Next Level's not going to pick one up. But,
hey, if somebody wants to send me one, I'm gonna figure it out. I can't make videos on it.
It's nice. It's nice. Box is heavy, but there's a circle of us that we constantly talk about products and how to do XYZ and whatever. So I'm gonna do some extensive research. I've done some stuff on the Roku, and I gotta say, we can only show you guys so far before YouTube don't like it. So I have some videos on the Roku. I showed you guys how to get into developer options and how to get to the part where you can add third party. And within the same breath, I said, just because you have the capability of adding it doesn't mean it isn't compatible, or it is compatible. So you can get that far and then be like, why? I'm like, it says it installed it, but it's not working. I don't see it on my thing. Try downloading an APK to an iPhone. Not possible. APK is an Android.
You can download it, but you can't install it.
Yeah, well, see? Exactly. Exactly. So, different strokes for different folks, I guess. I don't know. So, gonna test this sucker out. I am very curious on what is out there, what's available. Obviously, with iPhone stuff, you can't add a lot of things. This runs the same iOS. So, is there going to be things like certain apps that you're going to want to have? Probably not. Is there other apps that might be compatible for it? Maybe. But does Apple give you the flexibility? Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So this video, I want to start this from scratch. Like legit from scratch. You have cable TV. Oh, you got fleas in your beard? What do you got?
You said we're starting from scratch, yo.
Oh, you're still scratching the fleas out? Yeah. This is how we roll, guys. So you have cable TV and you're just over it. I don't want to say most of us, but there is a big crowd out there that say, well, I don't have cable TV anymore, but I have Netflix. I don't really watch TV. I have Netflix. Just watch it every now and then. That's it. In Canada, do they have this? In the States, you could get internet and cable TV as a bundle, and it comes out cheaper than just getting cable or just getting internet.
together bundled is cheaper than getting them separately. But
But just getting one separate.
Huh?
Getting one separate. Like, for example, if I'm like, I don't need cable TV, I just want internet. They're going to say, well, instead of paying $60 for 400 megabytes download speeds, you could pay $40 and you'll get your 400 megabytes download speeds and you'll get your basic cable.
Nah, they'll give you a discount, but it'll never be cheaper than getting a standalone service here.
Sometimes they'll have like bundles, like promos like that, saying if you get the combo, it'll be slightly cheaper, like $5 or $10.
Look, maybe they do, but at the times when they do, then it's like the standalone products are too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes they're like, oh, it's not on sale right now, but this is on sale and this is cheaper. It's like smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you go into a Walmart and it's like rollback, but it's like a penny cheaper than what it was yesterday. Like it's just stupid shit.
Yeah, true. So what I would recommend, me personally, is if there is a bundle deal with your cable, with your, I'm sorry, not your cable, your internet. If there's a bundle deal with your internet, get the bundle deal. How much is the internet by itself versus how much is it with the bundle? Now, of course, they're going to say, you know, sometimes they might say like, oh yeah, it's $60 for just the internet, but for $5 more, you get basic cable. So it's like $65 or $70, maybe $10 more. You kind of have to like, what is the word? I guess, like what's important to you. I understand you can get local channels and other methods that might be a pain in the ass, but for a few bucks more, you get some of the basic stuff. What is important to you and how easy is it for you to begin with to start?
And that's crucial. That's a place where you start no matter what you're doing, right? What is important? What is vital to your entertainment needs, right? So if you have cable and you're over it, there's probably a reason you still have cable. What is that reason? What is it worth to you? And then that's where you start your search, right? Like if you only have, I don't know, cable for local news, then is there another way that you can still get access to your local news without paying that subscription? Or maybe by getting it somewhere else. You have to figure out what's important to you and what your needs are. Because I'll tell you, unless you know what your needs are, you'll be out there spending just as much as you were on cable and still not being fulfilled.
Yep. Now I do have a neighbor. He was showing me his TV. He's like, "Oh, check this out." And I'm just like, "Dude, you know you could do that stuff like so much cheaper and easier." And the first thing he said was, "I don't give a crap about any of that Cody BS crap. I don't give a crap about any of the Sinclairs or Zion or Terrariums or BTV." The white of your eyes. He was pretty straightforward. He's just like, I don't want to be chasing links. I don't care if it's Debrid. I don't care if like he's just like, you know what? I just want to turn it on and done. Turn it on and done. Some people really don't have the patience. And he's like, whatever. I have Netflix. I got Hulu. I got them all. I pay for every single one of them. Pay for every single one of them. So it's kind of like for him. And then the funny part about it is he's always like, what are you doing? Stop playing around with yourself.
Wow, hold on.
Oh man. So his biggest thing is always there's nothing to watch on TV. That's it. There's nothing to watch on TV. And when is too much too much? You know what I mean? Like when you have everything available, if you have all the streaming apps, the biggest comment I get is there's never anything to watch on Netflix. There's nothing ever on Netflix.
Some people say I've watched all of Netflix.
I've heard that too. It's like, yeah, right.
I've watched everything. And you'll say, yeah, right. And they'll be like, no, I have. And I'll be like, okay, well, one, I highly doubt that. What you're really trying to say is I've watched everything that I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Or that I could find that I thought was interesting. But there's some stuff on there that you probably wouldn't watch if someone paid you. But it really comes down to like what is important to you. At the end of the day, if you got an unlimited budget, then sure, go nuts. Go get every single service under the sun. But I will guarantee you that there's services out there that you never heard of and that are a paid platform.
Now, why are you making these faces today, man? You're like on a good one. So when we're talking about cable, yeah, I hear that echo. When we're talking about cable, there's different methods of doing it. And I always say get a combo deal if you can. That's cheaper. That way you can get your locals without spending too much money. I know there's deals out there that's like 40, 50 bucks. You get 100, 100 megabytes download speeds is great for most people. Some people who need a little bit more might go 200. They might go 400. They might go through Verizon, Fios and get a gig. Dude, whatever it is that you need, depending on your household, 100 megabytes for the most part is pretty good to start. Just do that. See if they have a bundle of some sort to get your local channels. Nothing, no cable, nothing like that. Because you could get things like that in all sorts of ways. The second thing I always ask people is when you had cable, like, you know, your question earlier was what's keeping you from staying with cable? A lot of people say, like, I like to DVR stuff to watch stuff later. Now, the cool thing is there's a lot of applications out there, legal free ones, that can do that. There is, okay, I'll do one that I know people are going to say there's no way in hell you could find this for free or watch, or I'm unable to DVR this later. Sports. Football's starting now. Football is starting now. We're in the NFL season. Did you know on YouTube you could actually watch the full game replay without commercials the next day? Sometimes even later on that day, depending on when the game aired. There's even actually, you know what I like to watch? I don't know if I told you this before, but every time I work out in the mornings, well, I used to like Stephen A. Smith with Max Kellerman, but now that they got rid of Max, I'm not too thrilled on Bozo 1 and Bozo 2. You guys could figure out which one the Bozos are. I still kind of watch it, like First Take and some of the stuff that they talk about, but you know what? All of that stuff is on YouTube. You don't have to have ESPN. You don't have to have cable. Every morning, I type in sports highlights and I'll filter it within the last 24 hours. And I'll just look at the thumbnail and I'm like, cool. Are they talking about basketball season just ended a couple months ago? Are they talking about the Golden State Warriors against the Celtics, game 3? Like, let me hear their rundown. Let me hear what they saw. You know, then I'll throw that on. It'll be on for half an hour. I'm like, cool, this is awesome. YouTube has that covered.
There's another one from a platform that some people are paying for and don't even know that it includes DVR of NFL.
Ooh, this is a good one.
So
hang on to your bridges.
Prime Video has enabled a feature for their Thursday night football games where you can actually DVR for free in their cloud access to their Thursday night games. And that's all part of your Prime Video subscription, which a lot of you already have. There's a lot of things that Prime is giving you or gives you that a lot of people have no idea what the features are, except for I get same day shipping.
Yeah. But it's really like the next day. That's true. Actually, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. People don't know that one.
Look, there's a reason why Amazon dropped $1 billion. I'm not even exaggerating. They dropped $1 billion on a lot of rights for NFL. And they're continuously adding and updating to their app for features that are going to benefit you. So use them. You pay for them. Jeez.
Cheez-Its. Okay, another thing. Some people are like, you know what? I'm not into sports.
Cool.
I want to watch my news.
Oh, before we leave the sports topic, though,
go ahead.
If you want to legally watch your sports and get access to a feature that you've seen in other places, like watching 4 games at the same time, YouTube TV just added this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a sports fan and you like to watch several games at the same time, there are legal platforms. Yes, they are paid, but let's be realistic. To watch 4 channels at the same time, that's a feature that didn't really happen on some of these other platforms with cable. You might have had picture in picture, but to actually watch 4 channels at the same time, that's something that's coming new with the releases of these, live streaming platforms. They're starting to get to that next level.
Here we go.
And take advantage of the power of the cloud.
Here we go. Yeah, and do your research too when it comes to sports, depending on what it is. I know we're talking about football, but like any kind of sport out there, NFL has their own NFL Plus that is out now. I know ESPN covers a lot of sports on its own, and you could bundle that with like Hulu, Disney. There's so many ways to get your sports and not needing to spend a grip ton of money. So just do your research on that. Now, the next thing is the news. The news is another big one that a lot of people love. When I say look at your bundles with your internet and cable TV to get you the basic cable TV, that will give you your internet or your news channels. Now, some of us are just like, well, again, we like to watch our news later. There are tons of apps out there. YouTube is, I keep going back to YouTube because YouTube has a lot of this stuff for free. The Fire Stick has an app literally called News. Most of your TVs, they'll have a category that you could sign up for Yahoo News, entertainment news, like all kinds of stuff, and you could customize everything on however you want it. The Weather Channel's free. There's so many things that you could grab within your TV that's already built in, or you could find stuff in your Google Play Store or your Apple Store. Tons of stuff.
You know how I actually stay up to date with my news right now? And I'm not streaming it. I go and I follow the local news channels on Twitter. And all I do, because what they do is they post the article on Twitter as soon as it comes out. As soon as it comes out, the article's there and you read the headline. Well, shit, if that's interesting, I click it. And most of the time, they have a video for it.
Done. Done. Now, I don't want to cover movies and TV shows.
But we can.
We can. But I don't want to cover that one just yet.
Okay.
When people do cut the cable, first thing is DVRs. And they're instantly thinking about either the news, the sports, or whatever favorite show they have. Not so much movies. Movies, everybody knows, like, well, if I want to watch a movie, I could just, get an HBO or Showtime or any of that stuff, which we already know those apps exist. But the biggest question after they say, well, if I don't have my DVR, and I figured out a way how to do it within either YouTube or some of these other apps, other platforms or whatever, the biggest question I always get asked is, what device do I use? There's lots of options out there, and I always hear about Fire Sticks, Roku's, NVIDIA Shield. We're hearing about Apple TVs, even though they've been out for a while, but it's starting to become a little bit more of a popular conversation. For people who are a little bit more, I don't want to call them advanced, but what do you call them? Streamer enthusiasts?
I call them the enthusiasts. That's right.
There you go. You know, they'll look at formulas, Buzz TV.
Because you know what? Everyone today is a cord cutter in some shape or form, right?
Mhm.
But then there's very passionate people in this group, and they are very enthused to be enthusiasts.
They're enthusiastic.
You're enthusiastic. You know, they're very enthusiastic. I can do this and I can do that and I can do this and I can do a backflip. And yeah, you can do all of that. That's great. But there's a lot of people who don't give a damn. And they're still cord cutters, right?
Mhm.
Someone who watches just Netflix, they're a cord cutter. But then somebody who, I'm not even going to go down that road. Let's just leave it like that.
I'll say it in a friendly way. Those of you guys who have internal servers and you have your own built-in media within your home and you cloud everything from your home and whatever. You know what? I'll say this. I don't calm down. Hold on to your diapers. I'll say this. When you are looking into building your media, a lot of us really don't give a shit how big your media is, because it's not about you, it's about me, or AKA the end user. You know, we always label everybody like, oh, what does the end user want? I'm different than what the end user wants. But at the same time, you have to, if you're putting these videos out or this information out, you have to do it in a way where they want to do it. You know what I mean? And again, not bashing anybody with Plex servers or any of that stuff. There's plenty of people that have ginormous Plex servers.
Wow.
I was pointing to the gorilla.
You look, I don't have my sound effects right now.
But like I said, no, well, you know, someone's going to be like, oh, he's talking about moi. No, we got one right here.
A gorilla. We have a gorilla right here.
We have a gorilla, right? See, look at the gorilla. Look at the gorilla.
Gorilla.
But that's the thing is a lot of people,
you people
really don't care how to build an internal media server. You know, like I'll say this, like with me, I like all my DVDs that I bought legally, my 2000 some DVDs that I bought legally and that I put onto a server for my own personal use, not selling it or nothing like that. I'll tell you this, I put on some family members on it to be like, look, check it out. Do you think they give a shit or cared or wanted to even use it? No.
You know what? for a lot of the enthusiasts that build a home media server, it's an addiction. It's an addiction that becomes more and more addictive the more and more you do it. And then by the time the smoke clears and you realize how much money you spent and how much time you spent, you feel a little what's the word I'm looking for? You
Like
feel
a jackass.
little, it's you feel a little it's like a substance abuse. You just like you see yourself in the mirror and you're all like, who is that person? You're just like, I need more gigs. Give me another terabyte. You know, it's not easy, right? Like, let's be realistic with the cloud and getting servers and services like Netflix and Disney Plus, where you're only paying a few dollars a month versus buying like when I was building my home media center, I was spending $600-700 on a hard drive every few months. And I get it. That's an upfront cost versus a monthly cost, but it's an ease of use, and people want ease of use, especially if they're not an enthusiast. And we talk about a lot of times the ratio where there's time and there's money. And if you have the time, then you can save the money. Do you give a damn about investing all that time to learn all this stuff and to build this, and this when you can maybe spend another dollar or two a month and just have it all on your fingertips? What is it worth to you?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say too, is as you're building your whatever it is that you're building, again, most people really don't. And I think that's where the massive confusion is too. When people are looking for like, hey, how do I look for this? And then they see that, and the hope is like, you know what? I have 2,000 DVDs. I can do that. I could throw that all into my own, the amount of work and time. It's kind of like, you know what? And that's why there's people out there that will not get rid of Netflix because of that reason. And I think I'm not saying YouTubers or streaming enthusiasts, whatever you want to call them, I'm not saying they're the problem. I'm saying that's half the problem. Half the problem is we have people out there saying like, hey, I have these Plex servers, and trust me, I was one of them. I have these Plex servers that can do XYZ, and it can do all this, and it has freaking one-click play, and you're done, and then of course, you get all the requests. Well, can you add this and this and this and this and this and this and just like, oh my gosh, now it's like too much. It's like,
I mean, I can, but should I?
yeah, should I? So part of the problem is like you said earlier, smoke and mirrors. They see the whole concept of I could get everything at my fingertips, and I gotta maybe pay for this or do that or whatever. And people fall back to the issue of like, I would rather just pay Netflix and not have half these issues and have better quality and better everything. And I know it's going to be more reliable than having someone else's Plex server or MB or Bluefin or Redfin or whatever fin. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, that's where the problem is that there's no real, where do I go from this? I have this. What do I do now?
But I kind of want to just do a throwback reminder, right? Of like back in the day. I mean, like back in the day, before a lot of you guys were like born. And when we used to go to Blockbuster every Friday, and we would grab like 3-4 movies at $5 a pop, $20 a week, $80 a month, on only watching what, 12 movies in a month? How many movies a month you watching now? And what are you paying? I mean, yeah, it does add up, but it's better than where we came from.
So let's reel it back. Streaming devices.
Yeah.
The one thing that as we're on our venture of cord cutting and we're trying to solve what we're going to be missing, DVRs, the news, the sports, not touching TV shows yet, because I know that's a big one. You people that like reality TV shows and the Kim Kardashians. But the biggest thing I get asked for is, well, if I don't have a cable box anymore, what the hell am I using? A Fire Stick? Now, when it comes to that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the starting level of what everybody should start at, no matter what level you are, no matter if you're a super enthusiast, a baby enthusiast, or maybe you haven't even started yet. So you're not even any type of enthusiast. You're more of get me the hell out of this cable thing. There's several devices out there to start with. And I always say start basic. Your Fire Sticks, your Roku, your Chromecast, and your TiVo. Those 4 devices are the basics that get anybody started on the path of streaming.
The on boxes too are pretty good, and they're cheap. The
Oh, on.
boxes.
That's right. I missed on. And I would go with the box, not with the stick. Go with the box. I would always say if you could spend under $40, under $50, maybe if you want to push it, just so that way you could see exactly what it is that you're getting yourself into. And some people say, like, you know what? Go buy the Apple TV for 100 and something or 200 and something, or go buy Nvidia Shield for 100 and something or 200 or whatever it is. Nvidia Shield, Buzz TV, Apple Formula, or whatever it is that's over $100. Oh, Meet Cool. I should throw Meet Cool in that starter list too. Meet Cool is a good one too. Always start with something basic. Most of us have some sort of streaming service that we pay for. Hulu or Netflix are the 2 big ones. I'm not throwing in Disney Plus, ESPN, HBO Max. I'm not throwing any of those other ones. Every time I always have a conversation with somebody, it's either I'm a Netflix person or I'm a Hulu person. It's one or the other. If you have any of those basic streaming devices, streaming sticks, then now you have access to all the 4K apps. Most of the TVs nowadays, even the budget ones, are 4K. Maybe not true 4K, but it does give you a form of 4K. You're definitely not watching 1080p. It is going to be upscaled. But that's what I would recommend. Any of those sticks to start with. And the very first thing is they're all different. Do your research on how each device looks like. Roku, for me, has the best interface I've ever played with amongst any streaming device. I don't care if it's the Shield, I don't care what device it is. The Roku interface is clean, simple, and it's just there. That's it. Nothing fancy, and it looks really good. I do like Android TV or TiVo or Google Chromecast or whatever it is all of them are using, and they're all similar. But it is a little bit of, how do you say it? Like, you could put your shortcuts for all the apps, and then as you scroll down, you see your recommended for each app that you own.
Sometimes out of the box, it's not as easy to use if you've never done anything.
Right. And same thing with the Fire Stick. Fire Stick is really good for anybody who has Prime. If you have Prime, Amazon devices, the whole thing is throw up Prime everywhere. Prime movies, Prime TV shows, Prime rentals, Prime buy me, Prime rent me, Prime everything me. It's all Prime everywhere.
You don't need Prime to use a Fire device, but they will remind you every single time that Prime is the shit, according to them.
Agree. And you can add third-party apps to any of these devices, most of them. Some of them might be a little bit more of a headache. Some people are going to be arguing with me saying there's no way in hell you could do it with Roku. Yes, you can. It's just a pain in the butt to do it. And you could also add shortcuts on all these devices too. You could put like your top favorites at the top or on the little bar or whatever. Put it this way. I've been around this streaming thing for well over a decade. I still got a Fire Stick that I use. I upgraded my Fire Sticks to that 4K Max. And you know what? Low key, and Next Level might freak out on this a little bit. If the Fire Cube does have a max that comes out, I might be switching my shield to that.
Oh, I want one.
You're like, I want one.
Yeah. Like, okay. There's a lot of people out there that are going to be like, oh, if you've never had an Android device, buy a Shield. You'll never want anything else. But by not knowing what else is out there, how do you know that they don't want anything else? And let's be realistic. The Shield is pretty expensive. And on top of that, not saying it's a bad device, but on top of that, there's a lot of great devices that have come out over the years that have really improved the budget game when it comes to streaming. Like the on boxes have set a new precedence in regards to value for your money with Android TV. They have. Like you can't disregard that anymore, right? And for the majority of the people, I'm not talking to you enthusiast who's angry and upset with what I'm saying, talking to the average cord cutter. They're not playing video games. They're not gaming. They're not turning their Android box into a Plex media server. The average person isn't doing that. The average person isn't connecting hard drives to their Android box. They're not.
Yeah. And I know I've gotten a lot of people who are, it's funny because we're constantly running to new people that say, I pay so much on cable and there's nothing ever to watch on Netflix. And it's like, why do you have cable and why do you have Netflix?
What do you want to watch?
Yeah. And the thing is, well, I see some other people running these like servers and stuff like, but I don't have time for that crap. And I'm not going to pay somebody to have that their whatever, whatever their version of a Netflix is. Or even as a security feature, I don't want people to have my IP address. Just saying. There's all kinds of things that could go wrong when you go through certain avenues, but that's what I would recommend. Get yourself and the great thing about it too is if you do get a Google Chromecast, and I'm not talking about the basic Google, I'm talking about the Google Chromecast that has Android TV built in, or if you get TiVo that has again Android TV built in, or Fire Stick. Those are the top 3 basic ones that I would recommend all the time. Those 3 are the most talked about, most popular, easiest way to set up. And once you figure out how to do a couple things on there, you could do just about anything on there. But go with those. The biggest thing is if and the other thing is I always get this other question too. When it does come to cloud or recordings or stuff like that. We'll get to that in a second, but get yourself started to where you're like, cool, I have this Fire Stick. I have all these things here. And you know what I would recommend next? Unplug your cable.
Wouldn't you miss?
Yeah. Unplug your cable. So I did this experiment with my sister. And she only had one kid. The second one wasn't born yet. And they would always turn on the cable. And I'm like, dude, you guys have everything you guys want within these apps right here. Literally, these apps here has everything. So she made the decision to say, screw it. Let me unplug my cable. So we are forced to use this Fire Stick thing. Dude, my niece learned how to use that Fire Stick so fast. And she was showing my sister like, hey, mom, this is how you do it. Dad, this is how you do it. And boom, there it is. Boom. Boom. They got it all up and running.
Sorry, I got distracted. I just saw the price of Bitcoin and I don't know what's happening right now, but it's at 18,000.
Focus
I know.
on
I couldn't do
topic.
it. I saw it. It was shiny. It was glittery.
Browser. Looking at that.
It was shiny, it was glittery. I couldn't do it. I'm a crypto enthusiast. What can I say? Holy crap.
So
Yeah. So what do you miss? What do you need? You know, we talked about it a lot in the past. Well, I say it, you know, I like spreadsheets. I like spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are cool, right? What's coming out? What do you want to watch? And you don't have to pay for these platforms every single month. You can literally just pay for them when you want to.
Mhm.
You use them like an unlimited Blockbuster pass if you want, if you will. Right? This Blockbuster store versus this Super Video, Jumbo Video 99. I don't know what you guys have had over there on the other side, but we had some other companies, some competitors, right? This store has this abundance and that store has this abundance. Schedule what months you're going to subscribe to certain services. If you're really tight on a budget, right? You say you just only watch Netflix for Stranger Things. Well, cool. When does Netflix drop Stranger Things? I'll buy it that month and I'll binge watch it that month, right? Every other month, maybe I have Disney Plus or something else.
And it's not even just for being on a budget. It's going back to that Blockbuster. You went to Blockbuster when you knew the new Star Wars movie dropped and you could rent it. Or when the new Men in Black movie came out, or Rush Hour, or whatever movie it was that came out on Blockbuster. You're just like, hey, I'm going to go to Blockbuster this weekend. There's 6 movies that came out. Which 3 do you guys want this week? And then next week we'll get the other 3. Treat Netflix, Hulu, and Disney the same way. And the biggest key for that actually is what Next Level said, was make a schedule. Find out if you're on Stranger Things, find out when Stranger Things is coming out. And not just Stranger Things. Some people are just like, hey, you know what? I like Stranger Things, but I also like The Boys. I like both of them. Both of them came out roughly around the same time.
It's a banger. 2 for 1. Watch everything your heart contents.
2 for 1. You could have literally said, when does Stranger Things end? Or when does The Boys end? Like whatever came out first, find out when was the last episode. Get it when the last episode drops and time it so then the other one ends also around the same time. And then guess what? Umbrella Academy came around the same time too, which I think was a Netflix one. There were several things that you could have been like, hey, you know what? For this month, I could spend $20 and watch a grip ton of stuff. And then when you're done, like literally buy it. As soon as you're done buying it, cancel it right away. Cancel it right that second. So that way you're like, oh, well, I forgot to cancel it when the month ended. Cancel it the second you pay for it.
How much? Okay, here's a question. And I want you to answer it. And I also want you to answer it, like in the comment section down below, right? If you have a service, $10, $20 a month, how many things do you need to watch to justify the price that you're paying? Is it 5 movies a month? Probably people are going to be like 100. Like what? Like how much do you need to watch to justify that? Right? And I'm going to challenge you even further, right? So let's say you come up and you're like, okay, maybe some of you guys are like 5. If I watch 5 things and I pay $20, that's only $5 a thing, and I made my money's worth. I'm happy. Very, very doubt that's a majority of you guys. Now, there are some of you guys on the other end of that scale that might say, I need to watch 100 things in order to make it worth my while to pay $20 a month. Okay, ain't hating on you. But then what it might turn out to be is, well, shit, there's not 100 things on here in the month that you want to watch. So then you're telling yourself that it's not justifiable for you to pay $20 for that month. Maybe you should hold it off until you find 100 things, because that's your cap. You're like, I need to watch 100 things to make $20 worth my while when it comes to a streaming platform. Then hold off until you can find 100 things to stream. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you determine what is value when it comes to these streaming things. You know what I mean? If you're happy with just 5 things a month, then any one of these services are going to be good for you. But if you need 10, 15, 20 different things, then you're going to have to pick and choose what months you watch them. And it's as simple as that. I think it's as simple as that. But that's because I'm cheap as hell. I have no issue saying I'm not paying you this month, bro.
Bro. Now, the other thing too is here's another pro tip. If you have certain phone providers, some phone providers will give you free Netflix, free Hulu. They'll give you the free Disney bundle. Find out what promotions they have and jump on it. Sometimes actually was a Peacock that said you could get the paid tiered thing or whatever for $1.99 a month for a year. It's $24 for the year, and you get everything that they have on their premium. There's a lot of promotions out there that you can get and jump on. You just got to keep your ears and eyes open. So now the last thing is, and I do want to cover DVR. I do want to cover DVR because there's some people that are going to say, like, you know what? I've tried your Cody, I've tried your Sinclair, I've tried your BTV, I've tried your HGT network, I've tried your CNN Plus or whatever. I've tried everything, and it's just a pain in the butt. And I would rather, I don't know, if I'm going to watch The Bachelorette, I want to have cable TV so I could DVR it and I could watch it later, and I could have a girls' party later on that night while we're watching whatever it is. Whatever it is. I need my DVR. I need to have my DVR. Some of these apps have it, but sometimes the quality is not good. Whatever it is. There's a lot of apps out there. There's two ways of doing this. There's two ways. I think Next Level is like turned into a pirate. Two ways, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it as always, but there's two ways of doing it, and it could be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it just depends how much patience you have. And I think that's the biggest thing that needs to be learned as you're trying to find cheaper ways of doing stuff. So we have apps like TV Mate. TV Mate, you can record stuff. The problem with TV Mate is a lot of people like to record from TV Mate onto your Fire Stick. Fire Sticks do not have the memory or capacity to do that. Some people like to add a splitter on a Fire Stick and throw in a 10 gig hard drive onto your Fire Stick.
I tried so hard not to roll my eyes when you said that, and I get it. I once upon a time was an enthusiast. I probably would have did all that shit. I just ain't nobody got time for that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't. I mean, you might. But I don't.
It's a pain in the butt. Is it possible? It is, but like we said, sometimes it's just too much time to figure that out. There's other apps out there. There's third-party apps that you could be chasing links. There's other apps from the main networks that you could be checking out to see what they have. There's even ways that you could record and save on cloud. There's all types of ways. The biggest thing I would recommend is, as you're going through this process of finding an easier way of doing it, is doing it in stages. Doing it in stages. And start from the beginning. Exactly how we started this live show with what is it that you really want? Start from there. And as you're slowly cutting things off, work your way up to the streaming world. And how is it? And what is it for you? What makes it easier for you? Like I said with my sister, she literally had to unplug the cable for them to get used to using these type of different apps. And at the end, like now, they're like, we don't miss cable TV. And sometimes they do want to watch The Bachelor live. They're like, dude, I want to watch this like right now as it's happening. And they always got to be like, you know what? I don't have time to watch it right now when it's happening because I got kids running around which need
Right?
to go to bed.
What is it worth to you? Exactly. Right.
And
A lot of us think that we need things, but we actually, our lives don't align. Right. A lot of
Mhm.
us. Do we really need these things? Do we really want these things? Do you really need to watch Big Brother 24/7 webcams behind the scenes of whatever the hell go? I don't know. Some of you guys say yes. I don't. I mean, if it's worth it to you, then it's worth it to you, right? Because in order to get access to that kind of stuff, then you got to get Paramount Plus, or you got to get this, or you got to get that, or whatever it is, right? And then there's more platforms coming out that are subsidized by advertisements. It's free. What is it worth it to you, right? We grew up, Rojas and myself, and many of you guys, in a time when, in order to get the content that you paid for, you had to sit through 2 minutes of commercials. You just did it. You sat through it. Sometimes you changed the channels, but you knew relatively quickly that you didn't come back in time, or you came back too early and it was still on commercials, or you missed 30 seconds of something that was crucial in your show because they never put the advertisements in a place that was like a break in the show. So you had to come back and you're like, what did I miss? And there was no DVR and there's no cloud. And yeah.
no pause, nothing. So the last part before we finish this episode is kids.
Don't have them.
Most parents, yeah, you have a kid. What do you mean don't have? Most parents, or people, I should say, most people out there do have a kid, and they're like, I can't get rid of cable because they like to watch freaking Dora the Explorer. They like to watch Peppa Pig, or they like to watch whatever it is nowadays out there. It's constantly changing, but whatever it is, and they have to watch it. There's always an alternative. Always alternative. And there's apps out there that will cover it. Legal apps. Again, I keep using YouTube, obviously, because we're on this platform, and YouTube does have a huge library of resources. But you could watch full episode replays on YouTube. And you know what? As kids, do they care if they're rewatching the same episode again? Probably not. They're just happy to be watching Peppa Pig again. But those are ways that you can do it. You just have to see what's important to you. See what it is that are your needs for your household. And then take it one step at a time. There's a lot of videos out there that are chasing you for your money. Buy my Plex, buy my app, buy my whatever it is, my hub, buy whatever it is that's out there. There's so many ways to do it that you could do it on your own, and you don't have to rely on nobody. And you could do it in a cheap way, and you could still get quality. And again, if you want less of a headache, if you want more reliability, then you got to dish out some money, pay a little bit more. The more you pay, obviously, the lesser of a headache. That's why cable is so expensive, because it's the most reliable. You're hardwired to watch whatever it is that they're showing you. You're hardwired to do it. Now, of course, there's going to be those people in the comments that are going to say, well, cable goes down too. It sure does. Cable does go down. But the probability of cable going down versus anything that's streaming related, again, you pay what you get. You pay what you get. We're already an hour into this. Anything final that you can think of to throw out there?
I guess if I was to leave you guys with anything, it's understand what your problem is. How are you going to solve a problem if you don't know what your problem is? What's your problem? What's your problem? You people and your problems, what are they? Right? And once you start to understand what your problems are, well, then start to look for the tools in which helps you find the solution to your problem. A lot of us just think that, okay, well, I had this problem, right? I need a solution. No, what you need is a tool. Stop being a tool and get a tool. Work smarter, not harder. There are websites out there that tell you, literally, you could type in, I want to watch Friends. And it's going to tell you Friends is on this platform, and this platform. Choose your vice. I tell you guys, get a tool. Don't be a tool. Start a spreadsheet. It's easy to Google what's the release date of season 4 Stranger Things. Okay, it's coming out in this month. Starting a spreadsheet with just 12 months of the year. What services do I need to watch the content that I like? I'm talking 12 lines. It's an easy way to project what your budget's going to be for your streaming expenses for the whole year. How much do you want to spend? Right? I spent $300 in August on streaming packages. Well, shit, maybe in November, I'm just going to spend 20 bucks. I don't know. It's your life, bro. You live it the way you want. I'm just saying, don't be a tool, use a tool.
What a tool. You okay there? Get so angry.
Yeah, you know.
So I hope you guys appreciate today's episode. Try to break it down for you guys. And I know we went through on a couple tangents a couple times. And all we're doing is just warning you guys, when you guys are doing your research, you're going to go into a rabbit hole. You're going to find all kinds of stuff that says they're better than this guy, better than that guy. And the biggest thing is a lot of these streaming apps have trials. Sometimes you could do like a 30-day trial, or you could do like a 1-day trial or a week trial. Your cell phone providers might give you some great deals or bundles or packages. Shoot, even your cable companies that say, hey, if you bundle your internet and cable with us, we'll give you Netflix for free for a month. There's a couple things here. And the other thing too is most of those cable providers, they have streaming applications that you could use on your phone. So that way, when you're traveling, you're good to go. So as you're looking for this stuff and as you're trying to get some of these bundles or deals or whatever cheaper, spend a few minutes, spend a few minutes just researching, and you'll be surprised on what you find. You'll find out there, and then leave us a comment below. Like if you guys are like, hey, how can I get like some kind of bundle deals? Have you guys heard of this? Just follow us, subscribe to our channels. We're constantly talking about the news, what they're doing. What did, like Friends, he just said, oh yeah, you can watch Friends. Like, yeah, we just talked about Friends leaving Netflix and going over to HBO Max. We also just talked about HBO Max is probably not going to be around to the end of the year. So you could always stick around with the news with us. So make sure you guys are staying tuned with us. Anything you got to say next before we get out of here? I know you got one more word to say before we go.
I'm just saying, like, if you got to own it, you got to own your experience. You really do, right? And this is just to emphasize, get a tool, don't be a tool, right? Unless you understand how to work smarter, you're never going to satisfy your streaming needs. You're never going to understand how to keep up to date with how everything is moving. And it's not done yet. This smoke is not going to clear for the next 5 years. Everybody is creating their own platform. Everybody is pulling their content out of every other platform. And they're saying, if you want to watch this, you got to go here. And a lot of you guys don't even know who owns the rights to the content that you like. So how are you going to know where it is if you don't work smarter now? Learn how to do the research now. Do it for you. Don't do it for me. I don't give a shit about you.
Oh man, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, next level.
And that being said, guys, after I just told you guys you're all tools, I didn't say you're all tools. I said, get a tool, don't be a tool. It's just advice. I want to thank you guys. We want to thank you guys for coming out, watching, and listening to another episode of Beyond the Streams. Wherever you guys are watching or listening to us from, or laughing at us from, make sure you leave us a comment or a review so other people like yourself can find the content that you enjoy. Make sure you also check out the Beyond the Streams YouTube channel every Thursday, sometime between 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for our live streams so that you never miss a thing. You never know where our conversation is going to go. You never know who we might have on, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.